just as we said.
And on to the second video.
So this was actually a backup plan.
Yeah, originally this was going to be okay. We'll do this in case we don't have the Castlevania tier list ready, and then we were like, yeah, well, sure, let's just do. Well, shit, we were able to finish the Castlevania list, so
yeah, I was.
Now we got 2 videos for this.
Holy shit, 2 cakes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, 2 cakes.
Got the backup cake. Now it's time. We're on the backup cake.
We're on the backup cake.
The backup cake.
Because that was before I cut the game. Before I only ended up finishing 2 games, 4 games.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I made this as the backup. So in September, I guess to prep it, to set the stage. I bought Spooky's HD renovation back in fucking 2019.
I mean, 5 years ago.
Like it was December 2019, I believe.
Yeah, so nearly 5 years ago.
Oh, didn't really touch it. Beyond but since I figured it'd probably be better, work better. Probably be able to handle it better on the or on my Steam Deck,
which was correct. Like aside from some minor performance issues.
Yeah.
In some parts.
It's because the game does have a normal controller layout.
Oh, thankfully.
I played this game very thoroughly.
As in, this is one of the, how many?
4 games?
One of the 4 games on Steam where he has every achievement.
Yep, one of the 4 games I've perfected.
One of the 4 games he's perfected on Steam.
I know, not much.
Yes, he has done on the story mode with no saves.
First try.
First try,
even.
Like, literally the first attempt at that achievement, he got it.
Yep, I got the no save achievement.
That was one of the craziest fucking moments ever.
I got a first try. Fucking first try. I can say I'm definitely well versed in this game.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I ranked.
And of course, I'm super autistic about it. So.
Yes.
So I'm here to help.
Oh, so you probably first. Let's
get this bottom tier out of the way.
Probably shouldn't count.
The probably shouldn't count tier, which has. Is it 8? It should be 9, right? No, it's 8. Yeah.
It's 8.
Which are the classroom shadows from Specimen 4's locale. Wham! The stationary does nothing in Shadow Man in the in Specimen 8's locale.
Mm-hmm.
The old Specimen 10.
And because obviously.
Yeah, the brain in the jar. Or even if it can kill you, yeah, you asked for that. That's not a real chase, even. And it's an Easter egg. Same with the scare share.
The toilet monster.
or that appears in New Game Plus of Karamari Hospital.
Oh, God.
Oh, the doll that I believe is named Clicky.
The one that just
runs around on the ceiling and making clicking noises.
It mimics your movements.
It tracks your movements.
And the Nightmare Soldiers from...
There's other 2 are from the Dollhouse, and the ones before them are from Karamari. Yep. And the first half of the list is from
the main
game.
Now, the real list. By the way, if you want to know, I wrote this entire list in Comic Sans.
Give them a little taste of that. Show them.
I wrote this.
Yeah, we wrote this entire list in Comic Sans.
And because I thought it would be funny.
Yep.
In on brand. And with the in humor.
Yeah. I mean, Comic Sans is pretty scary.
Yeah. So, the real list. Starting with Specimen 1 in C tier.
Yep. This specimen pretty much embodies part of the game's title, Jumpscare. Mechanically, the only interesting thing about this specimen is that it comes with many different sounds and appearances. They're mostly here to set up the false pretense that there's no actual threat and only serve as a minor distraction after the fact. They're iconic, but have effectively no gameplay to speak of, so they can't go any higher.
Yeah, false sense of.
All right, let's summarize what the tiers are listed as real quick.
Okay, so there's
There's the probably shouldn't count tier at the very bottom, as in we're not giving them actual rankings. There's D, which is the obnoxious tier. These specimens were actively infuriating to run into, and their redeeming qualities weren't strong enough to save them from this tier if they had any.
C is
either a mix of like and dislike, and or just no strong feelings towards
you
them.
exist or mixed feelings.
You exist / mixed feelings.
B is good.
Good. Enjoy. Well, they serve their purpose without being obnoxious. It's decently spooky. Great. Hey, pretty damn spooky and effective at their role. Cool design, lore, and S are just the personal favorites, the ones that I go above and beyond.
Yeah, and yeah, I just had to get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Specimen 2 is a B tier.
A good one. Do you want to take this one?
First actual threat in the game, and a fairly simple one to start. Not particularly hard one to deal with. It's only ever an actual threat in endless mode. If you have a more threatening specimen chasing you at the same time, it creates an ink puddle which slows you down when you walk over it. I think based on
the Lub is from Adventure Time.
Yeah, I didn't leave those in the inspirations in the notes.
Specimen 1 doesn't really have a horror inspiration. It's literate. Well, that inspiration is cheap jump scare.
Yeah. Yes, but yeah. Also, I guess to mention the goober.
The goober. We call it goober, but the Vans just call it jelly. I think
its internal name.
Its internal name is jelly.
Specimen 3 B.
The first specimen you have to have its own unique locale. This one being a rundown lab where you need to find access cards to progress. It's also not very threatening. It can randomly drop down from holes in the ceiling, and this combined with its lack of chase theme makes it really easy to get startled by. In the previous specimen didn't have death screens until the HD version. Noah got spooked by this one on just kind of lack of the chase.
Yeah, this one's up. Yeah, this is another B tier.
Yeah, another B tier. Sometimes you don't notice it's chasing you until it literally spawns right in front of you.
Oh, ow.
And smacks you in the face.
Fucker. The fucking centipede.
I don't remember if this one had a specific inspiration.
No, it's just giant
lab-grown mutant horror.
Specimen 4, C tier.
Yeah, we want to alternate.
Yeah, you first encounter Specimen 4 in an abandoned school. There are a bunch of classrooms you can go into with stationary ghost enemies and no notes to read, but it's entirely possible to ignore, so side doors and speed through the locale. She can float through walls during the chase, and that's the only interesting mechanic. And later specimens do this in addition to having more interesting mechanics. She's also the only specimen form and to get a unique form in endless mode, adding a layer of static that slowly grows and then disappears suddenly during the chase. She gains point, or it's having a more interesting vibe, but then loses them again, and for that mechanic being somewhat annoying.
Yep.
Very clearly inspired by The Ring.
Mainly in design and the whole LTV static for her endless form.
Vor.
Yeah, also Vor. Specimen of Vor. Apparently, the fact that 4 is homophonous with death in Japanese was a coincidence. Akuma Kira was not thinking of that when they assigned when they made this the 4th specimen.
Yeah, that was a coincidence.
Later on, they were just like, "Oh, yeah, that is a thing. That's cool."
All right, Specimen 5 A, based on clearly very much inspired by Silent Hill.
Heavy Silent Hill vibes from this one.
Yep.
And this one's an A tier, our first one. Specimen 5 is first encountered in some kind of abandoned factory. Her
Okay.
her locale is filled with all sorts of strange side rooms, and as you move through it, a thick layer of fog obscures your vision. One of these side rooms is the womb room, where you can witness the miracle of life. No further elaboration on that. This specimen is on the slower side, but hits very hard if you do run into her. This is the first main game specimen to apply a unique visual effect to your surroundings during the chase, which involves changing most of the textures to various warped, writhing ones. Unlike most visual distortions, this one doesn't outright obstruct your view.
Yeah.
It's meant to disorient rather than obscure.
Boy, specimen. Yeah. But yeah, specimen 5 is referred to as Bab internally.
Yep. Bab.
Alex, unfortunately,
I misgendered specimen 5. Sad. I don't remember what I called this one.
Yeah, specimen 6, B. Yep, it's Ben.
Yep.
Yep.
This is a fan favorite.
Yep. Very much.
Probably the most iconic specimen from this game.
Clearly inspired by the Happy Mask Salesman.
Specimen 6 and 8
and involved just the Ben drowned on creepypasta.
I think specimens 6 and 8 are often considered the most iconic specimens.
Yeah. Specimen 6 was first encountered in a temple styled after an N64 Zelda dungeon, and similar to Specimen 3. We need to look for keys to progress, though it's a bit more involved this time. He loses points in the chase, unfortunately. I'm not really a fan of the Weeping Angel type specimens, and as things slow down on a bit, and at least with that's when you can knock him down with the axe.
Yeah.
I was forgetting that. I always forgot that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, on your first playthrough, you were doing, you were trying to minimize axe usage to get the
I somehow forgot that during my no save run.
Yeah, I mean, you still dealt with him anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this guy's obviously inspired by the N64 Zelda games, particularly Majora's Mask and the associated creepypasta Ben Drowned.
Yeah.
As in, this guy's his backstory literally involves him drowning.
Yes.
And he's come to be known as Ben by the community. So yeah, this guy actually started a bit of a trend, which we'll see carrying on.
So now one of the
well, we're not going to spoil how many just yet. You'll see.
But the first
the first S tier specimen.
Specimen 7.
Okay, Specimen 7, first S tier. Specimen 7 is probably one of the most unique specimens in the game, being one of two specimens that can't rechase you in the base game, and the only specimen that can't rechase you in endless mode. It's also the only specimen to instantly kill you upon contact. Specimen in 7's locale consists of a strange room with a clock along with a few disjointed, brightly colored rooms. There is also a strange white cat that tells you about psychology before the chase. It's got a very specific vibe that makes it stand out from everything else.
Yeah, no, Specimen 7 was not inspired by the Wall of Flesh.
No, so instead it was inspired by magical girl animes, I think.
Yeah.
I think the cat design at least.
Yes, but no, the flesh, the thing that chases you was
it was just an original creation.
And
well, all art is derivative, but like it wasn't notably inspired by something specific. And it's a very it's a specimen that stands out very strongly for multiple reasons, and then is an impact. Like it's a very surreal experience.
And funny story. I got this thing in an endless chase for one room.
Yeah.
And because of how all the chase is structured.
Or they can spawn pretty much at any point in the 100 rooms sequence.
This whole segment.
And then by the time the wall actually started chasing him, he had it for one room.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't think the wall actually spawned in. It was just the rooms leading up to it, and then he got the save room. And of course, since Specimen 7 can't reappear, that was that.
Yep. Specimen 8. Another 8 here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. The dear God.
Yep.
Specimen 8 is encountered in a woodsy setting that takes you through a forest, a cabin, and a temple. You also obtain the axe here, which is perfect for defending yourself. Off again. It's the unusually violent deer that you'll encounter along the way to Specimen 8. As far as the chase goes, Specimen 8 is pretty much a more threatening version of Specimen 4. Unlike Specimen 4, or he can phase through walls. Like Specimen 4, he can phase through walls. Unlike Specimen 4, he travels much faster when going through walls. Because this, you want to try to keep him in your line of sight.
Yeah, this guy was inspired by the beast from Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, and also just
the Wendigo myth in general.
Mm-hmm.
Although taking a cinematic interpretation of the creature as phrased by the wiki.
Yep. Yep.
This is like Specimen 6, probably one of the most iconic specimens on this game.
Now, now,
Specimen 9, which is a B tier.
It's normal form.
Specimen 9 doesn't have a locale. It can spawn if the player leaves the game idle without pausing for an extended period of time, or if they fall for the endless hallway, endless in air quotes, hallway, found in a specific room layout. You can easily go the entire game without encountering it, which makes it feel more like an Easter egg than a proper specimen.
It does have a cool kill screen, though.
Yeah, this thing does have a really cool kill screen in the HD version. And where it's like it's very meta visual. As it loads up the cat DOS, I think.
Yeah. It's just Specimen 9's more of an Easter egg. Egg. Egg, at least in its normal form.
Yep. And not too far after our first S tier, we get to our first D tier.
Specimen 10. Specimen 10 has found another abandoned lab, though this one is more futuristic than Specimen 3's. At one point, the power goes out and you have to crawl through the vents, giving this locale a more unique atmosphere. The chase, however, is probably the most annoying in one of the entire game. If you get too far, too far away from it, it'll turn into a worm that is faster than your run speed, basically guaranteeing a free hit on you. This slows the gameplay to a crawl and makes some rooms extremely frustrating to navigate while you're watching the specimen. I just be thankful on the main game and you can't be chased by more than one specimen at a time.
Yeah, this thing will fuck you up. Well, first, so
it's Specimen not and 8 is Specimen 10 is
based on the Thing. An alien parasite creature, and so Noah died to this thing many times on his first playthrough. Usually from that one purple room, that's like a really awkward square shape. That one was extremely disorienting to deal with while being chased by this thing.
And just God, it just you have to, my strategy was just be looking back at it.
Yes,
that's it. It's so you know how far you are from it.
That is the best way to handle it.
Yep. So after that, quite the contrast,
we have another S tier here.
Specimen 11, and
Specimen 11 is found in a fast food restaurant. You need to find a series of 4 keys in order to get through the locale, with the specimen appearing after you pick up the final key. This locale also has a crawling section, this time based on a McDonald's place tunnel. This specimen is the last one in the base game that can go through walls and has the fastest default speed out of those specimens. The specimen's gimmick is that it can turn doors invisible, which can be a problem if you haven't memorized the room layout.
So this is also one of the 3 specimens in HD. In the HD version, you can.
For the Hellgate chase sequence,
which is recommended to be
in the dollhouse.
In the dollhouse, which is the recommended one.
Now, he was confused as to why it was recommended until he realized that in this chase only, not in the main game, aim or endless mode, Specimen 11 will teleport away if you hit it with the axe.
What do you mean you can hit it with... or just like, what do you mean you can hit it with the axe here?
You could never hit it with the axe in any other context, so I don't know why it can be hit with the axe
Because
here.
I think that tunnel chase is, like, impossible.
Oh, because you're so slow.
Because you can't sprint... you can't use... Your stamina doesn't work in the tunnels.
Oh.
You're just supposed to... Oh, you could just use the axe.
Well, that makes this whole chase extremely easy.
Yeah.
I think this guy replaced Specimen 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or yeah, the original game has Specimen 4 instead.
Specimen 11 is based as well.
If you're wondering, the other two specimens are 6 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah. 8.
Specimen 11 is in terms of design, it's more of a generic demon monster. Though the upcoming Switch,
in overhaul.
the upcoming graphical overhaul. Actually, he makes it more clear. It makes this guy's animalistic traits more clear with giving it like hooves.
Yeah, it's like a cow.
Yeah.
It's like a demonic cow. Also, yeah,
it has this ominous glowing effect with this light shining over its head. And it was actually inspired by a Little Big Planet Imakuma Kira made.
Level they made.
Level they made about out an evil fast food corporation.
And so that's it's a more personal one.
Yeah, it's a more personal reference.
Specimen. Oh boy.
Specimen 12.
C.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'll explain this.
Yeah.
Specimen 12 is a mansion within a mansion, though you're actually being hunted by an old man and within the mansion. Another locale where you have to collect keys and bring them to the correct door. Or though this one's a lot more confusing to navigate. In some rooms, you have to find a hiding spot to avoid the old man, since he kills you in one hit before the escape sequence. And once you make it out of the mansion, he doesn't really do much. He has a very slow walking speed and can't go through walls. His only mechanic is that he'll randomly get a speed boost when he chases you with a belt when he screams.
Yeah.
He's on repeat playthrough. Specimen 12 is the most annoying locale to visit, dude, with length and complicated layout. At the very least, he stops being annoying for the rest of the run afterwards. Yeah, Specimen not.
It's really cool on a first experience, but gets annoying to go through on repeat playthroughs.
Yeah, not very fun in terms of replayability.
Which is unfortunately what kills the really cool concept of Specimen 12. We did fail to mention he does also do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, but he's so slow.
He just randomly gets speed boosts, I guess, but he's still far from he's still not really even the most threatening ground.
Specimen 12 is based on the old man is based on Clock Tower.
Yep, and of course the concept of a haunted mansion is nothing original.
Yeah, it's the fake mansion.
It's the entire premise of the game, but the mansion with a mansion thing's fun.
Specimen. Oh, the last main game. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh, Specimen 13.
Oh, by the way, the one after it. Do you want to do that at little extra? I know you want to talk about the final boss.
Yeah.
Do you want to do both the next ones?
I'll do the next ones.
Okay. Specimen 13. The last main game Specimen is also one of the most annoying. Specimen 13's locale borrows heavily from its inspiration, Amnesia. Yeah, it's based on Kant or whatever it's called, the water monster from Amnesia. And yeah, the aesthetics are very clear.
Yeah.
You have to find a lantern, after which you solve a lock puzzle to reach a water pump. Afterward, you enter the water and eventually run into the specimen. The locale is cool, but the chase is just as slow as Specimen 10. While also being extremely boring on top of that. She can only hit you while you're in the water, so you have to stand on boxes to avoid her. The chase boils down to sprinting for a box, waiting a few seconds for your stamina to regenerate, and then doing it again.
Oh, no, I didn't catch that.
So a few sentences, wait a few seconds for your stamina to regenerate, then doing it again. this chase can last upwards of 50 rooms, and the novelty wears off fast.
Believe me, I've had several endless run onto this bastard.
Yeah, notably, this one can only spawn alongside, I think, 3 other specimens in endless.
2, 5, and 12.
Yeah, I think it's 2, 5, and 12. Also, only relatively slow grounded specimens.
Although specimen 2 can be very annoying.
Yeah. Since I don't think specimen 2 slowed down by the
because he doesn't walk.
Yeah, that one hovers. So that one's specimen 2 is actually very threatening alongside specimen 13.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that the first and last true specimens may pair well.
Yeah, 13 is just a fucking chore.
Or to deal with.
Next up is Howard, D tier. Howard, and another D tier. This one really shouldn't count, but it's being included specifically so I can put it in D tier because it's really annoying. Howard appears in a looping room where he jump scares you after you circle around it a few times. The exit door is locked until you complete a certain number of loops. Howard can't kill you, but its room can reappear any number of times. So it'll likely be a recurring nuisance throughout your run.
Yeah, this looping room is inspired by the game PT. And there's like this note about entries appearing or something.
Yeah.
In some kind of obscure lore reference. This guy just kind of, when you loop through the room, he jump scares you after.
He'll sometimes jump scare you.
He'll sometimes jump scare you after a certain number of loops.
It's going to show up in endless mode as well.
Also, you're never free or safe from Howard outside of Carmari Hospital and the Dollhouse. Speaking of which, we still have some other stuff to get to first.
Yeah. Specimen 9, boss form. This is an A tier. Finishing off the base game specimens, we have the final and only boss. Well, it's not too difficult. It serves as a great finale in the game. And the boss has 4 attacks: summoning pillars of tortured souls, summoning shadow hands that track your movement, summoning slow minions that die to one axe swing, and shooting balls of energy at you.
So a lot of summoning and balls.
Summoning and balls.
Yeah.
The energy balls can be deflected to make Specimen 9 fall to the ground, at which point you can swing your axe at it a bunch before repeating the process a couple more times. A more intense version is the previously mentioned attacks. After beating it, you get one of the 2 endings, depending on how much you use the axe throughout the game. Yeah, you do fucking Dead Man's Volley with
So
Specimen
the inspiration
9.
between this one is
Rather
very dark.
Very dark.
I will say it relates to
It's to horrifying
unethical human experiments conducted during World War II.
If you want to know, Google unit. Just search for Unit 731.
Just fair warning, it's genuinely haunting, terrible stuff.
It is terrible stuff, and fucking Taken.
Yeah.
And Specimen 9 is referred to as Taken.
Yep.
And to take the dead. And as you saw, it's like body materialize.
Yeah. So it's like building itself off a new body out of corpses.
Yeah. Yeah, Specimen 9, yeah.
It also has this Specimen 9 in general, at least the head form also has this weird clay style.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah, Specimen 9, and also the fact that the average player probably won't even run into its normal form.
Yeah, but like it's really cool that the final boss gets foreshadowed through an Easter egg like that.
An Easter egg to punish you for just to punish the player.
Yeah.
Or for not, leaving the game on pause, idling while without pausing.
I just think it's cool that they ended with a final boss fight, even if they didn't really have to.
Yeah. Now jumping to endless mode.
Endless mode.
Since that's in the free version, that's there in the free version.
First, we have what Noah seems to have listed as Unconed Specimen 1.
God damn it! God damn it! All right, sorry.
Yeah, we have Unknown Specimen 1. one, which is in B tier. This is Whiteface from I'm Scared.
Yep.
Not a reference to Whiteface from I'm Scared.
Yeah.
Literally Whiteface from I'm Scared.
Yep.
Whiteface is the only specimen to be directly lifted from another game. That being I'm Scared.
Yeah, you just
Before it starts chasing you, your surroundings take on a pixelated appearance directly referencing the specimen's game of origin. After a few rooms, the chase actually begins. Whiteface will slowly chase the player, gradually picking up speed until 25 seconds have passed. That's the wrong word. It's past. P-A-S-S-E-D.
Yeah, sorry.
Passed. At which point it teleports to a random spot in the room. He'll occasionally spawn at the exit door, making him trickier to avoid. Whiteface isn't much of a threat on his own, but works well with the fact that multiple specimens can chase you at once in endless mode, making his random teleporting harder to deal with. If you happen to die to Whiteface, you'll be presented with a text prompt. If you type open, a second chase is triggered. In this chase, the rooms turn red and fleshy. You're stuck at 1 hit point, and the room counter is stuck at whatever number it was on until the chase ends. This can only be done once per run, and can actually save you if you die to Whiteface while being chased by a more dangerous...
Whiteface.
And try to Whiteface while being chased by a more dangerous specimen. Sorry, Sonic.
Yeah. Whiteface. White just, it's literally, oh shit, it's a white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whiteface, yeah, the only one just lifted straight from another game.
Which I suppose with how meta that game gets,
That's,
it's pretty fitting. That,
it's one of those horror.
Arguably the pioneer of meta horror or meta horror games.
Yeah, that fucks with your system.
It's a pretty novel concept at the time of this game's release, and I'm glad the game sort of pays tribute to that with how it seems aware of the fact that it's in a game.
Unknown Specimen 2, C. Otto the Otter. Otto was probably the mechanically an interesting specimen in the game by design. His locale was a small pizzeria in room with a stage. Before exiting the room, you must pick up the pizza slice next to Otto. Initiate the chase. You took my fucking pizza. You took my fucking pizza.
Yeah.
His speed and damage are both below average. He can't go through walls and has no special mechanic to compensate. Otto is the definition of a joke character, only added because FNAF fans kept asking Inakuma Kiratame to include a monster based on the series.
Yep. Now, what I would do to make if I wanted to make this guy a serious specimen, I'd add in a little Easter egg where if you hit him with the axe enough times, he'll eventually become broken down and transform into a withered version of himself.
Withered Otto.
Elf that moves around on like wiry tentacles, moving faster and dealing damage and like crawling on the ceiling. And sort of like a mangle.
Now, bit of a divergence.
Bit of a divergence. The clown.
From normally you found
It's
taking
this here.
Yep.
Taking a slight detour with the order here, the clown is a specimen from the dollhouse. In both the dollhouse and endless mode, you encounter the clown in a cage. In the dollhouse, he escapes on his own, but in endless, you have to summon him by pressing the clown button in Otto's room 3 times and then breaking his cage with your weapon. The clown is another weeping angel monster, only moving when you're not looking at him. The clown, however, doesn't damage the player in any way. The only way he can pose any sort of threat is by body blocking you while you're being chased by another specimen. He still uses a chase slot, so intentionally adding the clown to your rechase pool can be beneficial, as he can occupy that spot instead of an actual threat.
Unknown Specimen 3. Another A tier. Spooper ranges from not a problem to the most dangerous specimen in the game, depending on what else is chasing you. Before the chase, you find him blocking the exit door for several rooms, requiring you to attack it and to clear the way. What's Spooper based on?
I'm checking.
Checking it.
If fandom would not be stupid. Just you can continue reading. I'll get to it.
Yeah. As you repeat this, his appearance it's his appearance gets more torn and bloodier. And the room start to get grimier. Eventually, the chase will begin, and you'll find that you're not actually being chased by anything. After 7 rooms, your health will slowly drain during the chase, and you're unable to recover your health. After 9 rooms, there's a chance the player will vomit after a room if they're not being chased by another specimen. Jumped over you. Yeah, if you're chasing another specimen, which depletes a chunk of your health. The random ability to heal is especially dangerous if you're being chased by another specimen. Your health bar serves as a timer. Or taking it and taking damage also it depletes another. It's a chunk of that timer. Or this guy also makes a cameo during the end sequence of the dollhouse.
So it could also be yeah. So, at least the fact that the player can vomit up a fetus sometimes could be a reference to Silent Hill 3.
Yeah, I have another Silent Hill reference.
Everything else about it's just kind of original.
Unknown
specimen 4.
Another C tier. This is a weird one.
Tertiac, inspired by Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion.
Yes.
Specimen 8 specifically.
Yes.
Tertiac first appears in a forest in a blue tint. Appears in a forest in a blue tinted forest. Just get rid of. First appears in a blue tinted forest setting.
There.
No, Tertiac first appears in a blue tinted forest setting, very similar to that of Specimen 8's outdoor area. She can chase the player through walls, and shadow animals appear during the chase to block your pace. The shadow animals need to be hit a few times to get rid of them.
That's all she does. So, I think they made Tertiac because they were
tired of making scary things and wanted to make something cute.
So,
so we get Deer Girl, who for some reason controls wolves.
Why are you running?
There's something really funny about seeing this child in a Halloween costume. Method, when seeing method, impregnation / internal bleeding.
Ah! Oh no, yeah. Though I think she's supposed to be more like a wolf or something.
Yeah, she's got antlers.
Or is it a tail?
Wolf deer creature.
Unknown specimen 5. Last one for endless mode.
Lisa. This one's a B tier.
Lisa.
Lisa is encountered.
Is encountered in a looping room, similar to Howard. This time, the loop is triggered by entering the door, and after going to the room a 4th time, the following room is taken on a red queue. It takes another 15 rooms for her to start chasing you, and after 5 rooms, she freezes the room count on her for 20 more rooms. Lisa is another weeping angel type monster, though this one moves slightly. It still moves slightly while you're looking at her. Or if you stop looking at her, she teleports right behind you. She'll teleport away after hitting you. She can also go through walls for some reason. Yeah, another PT reference.
Yep. Except this time not as I'm actually scary and not as obnoxious as goddamn Howard.
Yeah, that's all the base game stuff. Base game endless. Moving on to the DLC.
Or just the other extra modes if you're playing the HD version.
Yep.
By the way, I feel like now is a good time to mention that there are some gameplay mechanic differences between in the original and HD versions of the game. So everything you hear here, unless specified otherwise, is specifically a description of how they work in the HD version of the game. There may be some differences, as if you're playing the original, the freeware version.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just
a little heads up.
If you're confused
by why by whether or not a couple specimens can go through walls or over pits is different between versions.
Mm-hmm.
Hence. So.
All right, moving on.
Monster 1, C tier. Monster 1 is the first monster you'll encounter in Karamari Hospital and is first seen guarding a door in onto one of the hospital. In one of the guarding a door in one of the hospital's hallways. He starts walking around in the hallway and attempting to hit the player once they've entered and exited one of the side rooms. He only exists in this specific hallway and moves very slowly. He deals a solid chunk of damage if he hits you, but is very easy to avoid, so generally not a threat at all. Kumakura must have also thought this guy was extremely uninteresting because he is the only Karamari Hospital monster to not have an endless mode chase.
Mm-hmm. Monster 2, C tier. Monster 2, the policeman is Monster 1.
I'm not sure if the Karamari specimens are inspired by anything specific. I'm checking right now.
Monster 2 is encountered in one of the hospitals more. For example, after you pick up the medallion, and the screen flashes, ashes and all the body bags in the room disappear. Upon exiting the room, you end up in a foggy hallway lined with body bags. Monster 2 and dramatically at the end of the hall on slowly rising before chasing you. The room lasts like 10 seconds. It takes like 10 seconds to run through if you know where the exit is. This is the only time you run into it in Karamari Hospital. It's endless. It's okay on endless mode. There's a room full of body bags, though this one's not foggy. In any of the body bags could be Monster 2. Once you get close enough to the real one, the screen flashes and all the other body bags disappear. There's no fog effect, and Monster 2 will begin to rise before chasing you. It's faster than your walking speed and does nearly half your health and damage, but can't go through walls and has no special abilities.
Yeah, alright. Next is Monster 3. Another C tier.
Oh boy.
A lot of the Karamari specimens are kind of mid.
Yeah. Karamari Hospital, Monster...
Hey, smile. In Karamari Hospital, Monster 3 can randomly spawn in some of the hallways in the secret laboratory. It spawns at a random point in the room and slowly floats towards the player, facing through any walls. In Endless Mode, its locale is a simple catwalk with pretty much nothing interesting going on besides the monster itself. It functions the same way as it does in Karamari Hospital, except now hitting it with your weapon will make it teleport somewhere out of view. This also deducts one room from its chase duration every time, meaning you can just keep hitting it until it ends the chase.
Babyface.
Nice. And there's also a texturing glitch that makes its face look like, an anatomical... an anatomical structure that I don't think I can describe in great detail. It looks like a vagina.
Yeah, it's a vagina. We're not monetized. We're not monetized.
Yeah, all right. And this one, apparently, it also has the biggest hitbox of any enemy in the game.
That's funny.
And it's partially based on Flesh Lip from Silent Hill 2.
Yep, another Silent Hill.
Well, Kumakura seems to really love Silent Hill.
Yeah. Next up is Monster 4, the Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
Monster 4 is first encountered in the secret lab, just like Monster 3. It can be seen hanging in the isolation room, in the room with the isolation room key until you grab the key. Once you leave the room, it starts chasing you. And its endless mode locale is a recreation of its room from Karamari Hospital. This is the last Weeping Angel monster. When you look at it, it continues to move by teleporting towards you in small increments. It will occasionally teleport right out of sight while you're looking at it. It can appear over pits or inside of walls and can be hit to make it disappear from the current room and deduct the room from its chase counter.
Alter, did you mention it was C tier?
Yeah, it's another C tier.
Yeah.
I don't want water.
Okay, get me one too. Monster 5. B tier. Here. Monster 5 is first encountered in the maze before the isolation zone. Its endless mode locale is a highly simplified version of the same room, the same maze. Monster 5 can't go through walls, but it can float over pits in endless mode. During its chase, walls are replaced with iron bars, and a pulsing red ring surrounds the player's vision. Yeah, and there's and the cow. Let me check if the cow is inspired by anything.
Yeah, the main antagonist of Karamari Hospital.
Yeah. Well, it's based on mad cow disease for one thing. As in, it's a literal mad cow.
Mm-hmm.
And the last monster from Karamari Hospital next.
Monster 6. It's 8 here. Monster 6 can only be encountered in New Game Plus, as in Karamari Hospital. Where she waits at a seemingly endless hallway in the secret lab. And kills you instantly if you approach her, similar to how Specimen 9 and normal form works. Her locale appears similar to her hallway from Karamari Hospital, although it's filled with fog and there's actually a door at the end. And during Becca's chase, the screen is covered in fog, and Becca can sometimes.
Becca is the name of Specimen 6, by the way.
Yeah, Monster 6.
Monster 6.
It can sometimes spawn onto the exit door or once per room and float towards the player if they get close. This makes her especially dangerous combined with other specimens, since she'll usually damage you if you run straight through for an exit door.
Catch your breath, man. Scroll down. We're almost done.
If you could, and also her death screen is "Don't get up before Saturday."
Oh yeah, she's a reference to Rebecca Black for some reason. It comes off less as making fun of her and more like this just a really absurd concept for a horror monster.
At least it's not
tasteless or born of a literal teenager.
Yes. At least it's not done with ill intent.
Mm-hmm.
Now moving on to the dollhouse.
It's the other DLC.
In the epilogue and the finale.
Yeah, the finale.
The epilogue.
Yes. So,
the husks.
The husks appear throughout. Husks are C tier.
Yeah, C tier.
The husks appear throughout various rooms and hallways during the earlier portions of the dollhouse, usually in groups. They slowly walk towards the player and deal below average damage and can be destroyed in 3 to 5 hits. Their endless mode locale is a room styled after the dollhouse, in which you have to place a doll on a pedestal to activate an electric gate. This awakens the husks, moving them out of your way, but also allowing them to attack. During their chase, inactive husks spawn throughout each room and become active when you get close. Killing one removes it from the chase, and the chase ends if you kill all of them.
Yep.
It can actually be beneficial to leave one husk alive during the chase, as a single husk can still takes a whole chase slot, while not being particularly threatening on its own.
I guess Frenzy, also C tier. I never actually encountered Frenzy, as she only exists as punishment for leaving your doll all behind or letting her mood get too low. There are 3 specific rooms she spawns in, and one being the secret room, in which can spawn 6 Frenzy. She stands motionless, and transparent, and mostly transparent until the player gets close. After which she'll become fully visible and charge them at high speed. She can be killed with the axe, but the timing is difficult. Frenzy is one of the only 2 recognized monsters to not have an endless mode chase, along with Monster 1 from Karamari Hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense, and so you don't have the doll.
So, the next one.
The, the the last no, not the last one. So the third thing here is
Wormy Charles. Wormy Charles is first found found in the storage room. This one's B tier.
Yep, B tier.
Wormy Charles is first found in the storage room of the dollhouse. He sits next to the key in the room and becomes active when you pick up the key or hit him with your axe. After being activated, he roams the north side studies and East Hall and the West Wing, as well as the piano room for some reason. His endless mode locale is a longer version of the storage room where you encounter him in the dollhouse. Aside from his starting room, he'll spawn out at a random point in the room in both game modes. He'll wander aimlessly until the player catches his attention, at which point he'll charge them at high speed. Once he catches up to you, he'll reel back and attempt to smack you. It takes a second to wind up and deals the same amount of damage as a husk, so the attack isn't too threatening. The main threat he poses, aside from the panic induces when he's charging you, is that he can body block you, preventing you from getting where you need to go. If you manage to hit him 10 times in endless mode, the chase will end. Though attacking him is risky and his hitbox is unclear.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So good luck actually pulling that off.
Yeah, Wormy Towels.
It was just a really strange specimen.
Isn't it like a bunch of people stitched together?
No, it's a spirit that was trapped in a doll that was too small for it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And became angry about that.
Wormy Charleston.
And the last specimen.
Since we already talked about the clown, the hook doll. Oh, this one is this one's inspired by
this one's inspired by the horror film Suspiria.
Yep. The hook doll was first encountered in the root.
A tier.
Yeah, A tier. Hook doll was first encountered in the root cellar or the dollhouse. Though she doesn't chase you on first visit. Instead, you just take the pinwheel piece that's stuck to her body, resulting in a violent jerking motion. She becomes active when you return to the root cellar or to gather black candles for the true ending, in chasing the player throughout the entire sequence. Or unless Mental Cow was a more or maze-like version of her room from the dollhouse. During her cheek, is shrouded in blue fog. The hook doll is actually a reverse weeping angel. She becomes faster and more aggressive when you're looking indirectly at her. Even when not being observed, she moves slowly around when your health gradually drains if you're standing close to her.
This would. If you haven't memorized the layout of the root cellar, which, trust me, you probably won't have.
Yeah.
Of this segment of the game is extremely tense.
Mm-hmm.
And said, honestly, quite a fitting final challenge to deal with.
And much better final challenge than 13.
Yeah.
But with that,
well, that'll be all of them.
And that's all, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, folks. I figured this would be an appropriate one to do.
Yeah, very appropriate for Halloween. Come on, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion is the perfect choice for a Halloween game.
Spooky's Halloween store.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't expect. Oh, normally we don't do 2 videos back to back. Normally we don't do 2 videos back to back. I can. Yeah. You wonder why? It's
kind of exhausting, but
in a not good for speaking. Not good when it comes to not good for my voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry, I got something. I got something for. No, we got stuff for next month.
Yes.
Then well, of course, yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for what I have. What we have in store there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess yeah. With that being said, yeah. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
So bonjour, my wonderful viewers.
Well,
No, I'm Nosren.
and I'm Emery. And bonjour, my wonderful viewers. See you in the next video.
Yeet.
Yeet.